Hello, my little mathematicians. I wanted to go over one of the more challenging problems that we could encounter when we're doing ratios. So if you guys want to hit pause and copy this down and then try it yourself and then unpause and come back. Okay. So for this one, if you're back with us, it says there are 24 total surf team members. On the team, the ratio of girls to boys is 3 to 5. And then they want to know how many boys are on the team. Well, it said ratio of girls, so girls goes on top, to boys, so boys goes on the bottom because it comes after the word to, is 3. Since 3 came first, it came on top and is talking about girls, to 5. 5 came second, so it's on the bottom talking about boys. And then it says, how many boys are there? We're like, okay, so how many boys? And I'm waiting, trying to search for if there's how many boys for how many girls. And it doesn't tell me that. The only other piece of information they tell me is there's 24 total surf team members. So really what they're asking is how many boys are there when there's a total of 24 members on the team. So I'm going to use this piece of information to help me figure out and write a ratio, or two ratios set equal to each other, which is a proportion. Okay. So I understand they're asking me how many boys when there's 24 total on the team. If I want to use this to help set that up, you understand that from right here, when there's 3 girls, there's 5 boys, right? So I want to know when there's 5 boys, how many total are on the team at that point in time? Well, remember, when there's 5 boys, there's 3 girls for a total of how many? Well, what's 5 plus 3? 5 plus 3 is 8. So when there's 5 boys on the team, there's also 3 girls for a total of 8 total members on the team. So when there's 5 boys, there's 8 total. Now I have my two ratios set equal to each other, which is a proportion, and they're both talking about the same thing. So boys is on top, total is on the bottom. So how many boys when there's 24 total? I can use when there's 5 boys, I know there's 8 total on the team. Now that I have that, I just solve my proportion like normal. 8 times what is 24? Because remember, you always want to move in the direction of your unknown. Well, 8 times 3 is 24. So 5 times 3 is 15, which means there will be 15 boys on the team when there's 24 total members. Now that's a little bit tricky. That's hard, or harder than our normal ones. So let's do one more example that's similar to that. Okay, so it's saying Kenny has a total of 20 Mickey and Minnie stuffed animals. Okay, so a total of this many stuffed animals. If the ratio of Mickey to Minnie is 7, 7 came first, so it's talking about Mickey, to 3, 3 came second, so it's talking about Minnie. How many, we don't know how many Minnies there are. So how many Minnies is what they want us to focus on, right? Well, my first ratio they told me was Mickey to Minnie. And that ratio is 7 to 3. And then again, they want me to find how many Minnies there are, but the only other number they gave me was 20 total. So essentially, I'm going to have to say, okay, how many Minnies are there when there's a total of 20 stuffed animals that are both Mickey and Minnie? I'm going to use this information to help me figure that out. When there's 3 minis, how many Mickeys are there? There's 7 Mickeys. So when there's 3 minis, how many total stuffed animals are there? When there's 3 minis, what's the total number of stuffed animals? Well, 3 plus 7 is 10. So when there's 3 minis, there's also 7 Mickeys for a total of 10 stuffed animals. Now that I have my proportion set up, my two ratios set equal to each other, I can solve for my unknown. So 10 times what is 20? 2. So 3 times 2 is 6, which means there will be 6 minis if there's 20 total stuffed animals. And that makes sense that it's like less than half the amount, because when there's 3 minis, there's only 7 Mickeys, less than half. Congratulations on mastering this really difficult concept. I'm proud of you. And if you need to, watch the video a few more times and try it yourself, okay?